Welcome to the Unapologetic with Janine McKinnon podcast, helping you step more fully into your feminine, unapologetic authenticity. I'm your host, Janine McKinnon, confidence and sexual empowerment coach, who went from the trenches of 2 kids under 2 years old, feeling exhausted, overwhelmed, disconnected, and resentful, to creating a life I'm obsessed with, full of passion, presence, pleasure, and playfulness. I love myself, I love my marriage, I love my kids, and I love my life. And I want to help you feel the same level of love and fulfillment in your life. Here you can find inspiration and tools taken from my one-on-one coaching sessions and group experiences to support you in your journey. We'll cover things like societal conditioning, inner child healing, women's empowerment, and tantric and Taoist principles to inspire you to live a life you love while embodying your feminine, unapologetic authenticity. And in doing so, creating a ripple effect throughout your life, your family, and everyone you interact with. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so grateful we're able to connect in this way, and I can't wait to dig into the contents of this episode with you. Without further ado, let's get into it. Hello and welcome back, beautiful souls. I am so excited to be back for this season 3 Embrace Your Unapologetic Authenticity mini-series. So each day this week, I am sharing little snippets from our upcoming Unapologetic Story segments of these conversations with a stellar list of guest episodes. If I do say so myself, we have incredible women and one man coming on, sharing their stories, their mission around embracing your unapologetic authenticity. And today I am sharing a great little snippet from my conversation with Nada Lyon from Divine Great Spirit. She is a feminine coach and guide, and she is so much more than that. Through our conversation, it came through so clearly, her deeply rooted embodiment in her wisdom, her spirituality, her femininity, and her leadership. And she is just this beautiful medicine to listen to. And in our episode, we uncover all things unleashing your divinity. And originally I titled that episode Tapping into Your Divinity, but in going through the editing, our conversation is so much more than that. And it's really digging into how we can unleash our wild woman, because that is what humanity really needs right now. And it's us as women that lead our families spiritually and emotionally. And we do that by tapping into our divinity, by really treating our bodies like the temple that it is, in being able to get outside of the matrix to really see the universe and our divinity for what it is, and to be able to break free from the shackles of people pleasing and to stop betraying ourselves. And that is one of my favorite part of our conversation that I am going to play for you here, in that when we are quieting ourselves through people pleasing, through that good girl syndrome, we are betraying ourselves to such a deep level. And in doing so, we are robbing ourselves of our true potential, and we're robbing the people around us of really being able to experience that with us and to be able to uncover that for all of ourselves in our own way. So I will play the clip for you now, and we can dig into things a little bit more.
By you forcing yourself or you suppressing yourself to have that good girl syndrome, so you can be accepted, so you can be validated, so you can be chosen, so you can be desired, so you can be celebrated, you're kind of betraying yourself too, because your natural state, you're good, but your natural state is wild. Like, your natural state is wild, it's blunt, there's so much truth, there's so much wisdom, and it is women, specifically women, that will change the course of humanity. And I'm talking humanity here, right? Because women have something that is very fierce inside them. And when that wakes up, they become unstoppable with their life purpose, with how they treat people. They have a hunger to kind of make the world a better place. So they will not welcome men to be out of alignment whatsoever. They will enforce that alignment with their presence without even having to say anything. Women are so powerful. Like, women are priestesses. They've got so much capacity within them. And the good girl syndrome keeps them just at one part of who they are, right? When they drop that and they unleash themselves, then they can become the fullness of who they were actually born to be.
I just love hearing her speak, and it fires me right up because I agree on so many different levels. When we really unleash our fullness, when we step into our unapologetic authenticity, we are able to tap into that fullness of who we are meant to be. Because this good girl shit, this people pleasing, is just keeping us small and keeping us shackled and perpetuating this cycle of being exhausted, of living a dull life because of our fear of judgment. That's what all of this really boils down to, is that we are drastically affecting our life and betraying ourselves for something as simple as fear of judgment. And look, it does make sense. It sounds simple, and it is deeply rooted in our humanness. There is something to that. That is why this is such a big thing and why it is so hard for so many of us to overcome. Because us as humans, we are tribal beings. We live in community, and back forever ago when we were hunter-gatherers, we depended on our community to stay alive. We depended on that sense of belonging for our basic safety and needs. And so that fear of judgment and how it creates such a big impact on us is because back then, if we were to stand out, to have our tribe or our community completely turn their backs to us or to abandon us, we would die. Like, it's as simple as that. A human out on their own in the total wild at that time, with all these crazy animals and other tribes and humanoids around and all of these different things, like, we would die. And so it is deeply ingrained in us to feel this need of love and belonging and acceptance from others. And life isn't like that anymore. As with so many different things, we're needing to learn to adapt in this modern world, and this is one of those big shackles that we really need to break free from. And the way we are able to do that is by cultivating that sense of love, safety, and belonging within ourselves. So we are able to unleash our wildness, to stand in our unapologetic authenticity and not be so held back from this fear of judgment, in needing to get approval and appraisal and to please everyone else around us. And through that, we lead the way for a new world. We lead the way for our families to live a new way of being. We are able to really tap into our fullness of life, being fully present with our families, being able to enjoy all of the pleasures and joys that are available to us, and be able to tap into our divinity, tap into our intuition, to be able to see outside of the veil of what truly is possible for us, and to be able to show our families and our friends what is possible for us as well. And that's where that ripple effect really comes in. And so what I urge you through listening to this episode, both this little snippet and when we get into playing the full Unapologetic Stories episode next Thursday on the 29th, is to really take a good look at how you are holding yourself back. What are the different moments in your day or those different decisions that creep up that you notice you hold yourself back and fall into that good girl, people-pleasing mode because you're scared of what other people will think. And taking notice and bringing awareness really is that first step. And it's from that awareness that we are able to slowly create that change, to be able to pause, to look at those decisions a little bit differently, and perhaps act on them in a different way than we previously did. And sometimes that is going to be harder than others, depending on our upbringing, depending on the situation, and having that practice with things like embodiment practices, meditation, and breath work really help shift your nervous system and your subconscious to embody this new level of unapologetic authenticity and really unleashing your wildness in a way that feels aligned for you, in a way that feels safe, and to be able to do it in baby steps. Do you desire to feel confident in your body and empowered in your sexuality? The Honeypot Meditation is a potent 12-minute visualization to support you in connecting with your sexuality and rewiring your subconscious with the confident, radiant energy you'd love to embody. Download completely free through the link in the show notes and get ready to immerse yourself in a visceral experience as you connect with your sensual, radiant essence. Because if we just go open out the gate, go head on into it, and then it doesn't work out, we are going to retreat so fast, tucking our tails between our legs and running back to safety. And we don't want that. That's not the vibe. And so it is important to take your baby steps with this. And if you're someone who's really struggling with this, like, shoot me a DM. I would love to just chat, to be able to cheer you on, or reach out to a friend when we have someone to have these conversations with, to be able to celebrate all of those little small wins. It helps us with those baby steps. It rewires doing these things in a different way. And again, really standing in that unapologetic authenticity and celebrating the outcome, that it worked out well, or that we were brave and we did the thing. And it wires us to be like, oh, this is a good thing. Okay, this feels good. Okay, let's do a little bit more. Let's do a little bit more. And when we don't make time for that celebration and we just do the thing, and then we're scared about it and nervous about it and go through that thought spiral, that's creating a negative wiring. And so we don't want that. So I also urge you in taking this account and bringing this awareness of all of these different ways you hold yourself back. And as you begin to do those baby steps, please take a moment to celebrate. That celebration is so integral in you really achieving what you are wanting to achieve and creating those shifts that actually last. And so I will leave you with that. I would also love it if you are listening to this in real time. On Thursday, the 22nd, I have a Unapologetic Authenticity free masterclass and season 3 podcast celebration. We are going to be digging into this even more. We have a beautiful embodiment practice to really shift our nervous systems in aligning with our unapologetic authenticity. And my aim is for you to be very clear on how living in this way will impact your life and what your next steps are to create this shift. There will also be space for Q&A where you can ask me, a certified sex, love, and relationship coach, absolutely anything your heart desires. I am an open book here to serve you. And as an extra special bonus, there are a ton of awesome prizes as well. So I will leave a link in the show notes for you to check out all of that. And I will leave it at that. Thank you so much for listening. Hope to see you on Thursday, and stay tuned for the full episode with Nada Lyon to be released next Thursday, the 29th. So 2 Thursday things, Masterclass this Thursday, the 22nd, and next Thursday, the full episode with Nada. Thanks again. Sending you lots of love. Thank you for joining us inside the Unapologetic with Janine McKinnon podcast. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you feel called, I would so appreciate it if you shared about this episode in your stories or left us a review to help us reach more women in their unapologetic authenticity journey. Until next time, trust your inner wisdom and make some magic.